What's going on, guys? My name is Christopher and welcome to It's Complicated. It is a show where I talk about and showcase mostly mechanical wristwatches. This mechanical wristwatch, this one I got to build myself. I was provided with the tools, the hands, the dial, the movement, the case, the strap, the case back, etc. And I got to put it together myself. That's right. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be featuring and building a watch from the Do-It-Yourself Watch Club. I'm going to be building this 600-meter water-resistant dive watch. This is PVD-coated, sapphire crystal, Seiko movement, etc. And if you keep watching the video, I'm going to be giving you guys a coupon code so you can save 10% off your entire order. Here we go. So first thing I did was check out their website. Of course, I'll put a link in the description below. And I decided to go with a PVD coated diver's watch with a dome sapphire crystal along with a Seiko NH35 movement. So let's unbox this. I'm gonna pull this open here, and then this is the kit that is gonna have your watch tools and watch parts. And I gotta say, it's impressive all the stuff you get. Let's unzip this here. Going to flip this open. There's a bunch of tools, and up here are all the watch parts. This is everything you get inside that case. All these tools, you are going to get the screwdriver, jeweler's loop, you're going to get everything you need. The 3 boxes here, movement, dial, hands, the case is already out. Everything you need is here, case back, etc. Then you're going to go to the website, and here is where you're going to find the instructions to build the watch. Detailed video instructions on exactly how to assemble the watch you chose. Now, you're going to want to take out the movement. I did get the Seiko NH35 with mine, but you can also get a Miyota movement as well. You're actually going to have to take that stem out, which was a little tricky, but not the most challenging thing I had to do. This is actually the dial. I'm holding the dial by the pegs that actually go into the movement. So this is me trying to, I got that loop and I'm really looking at exactly where these pegs are gonna go. You gotta get up close and really look, because they go on rather easily, but they don't wanna just snap into place. You gotta work them a little bit so that dial is on there nice and snug. And I'm just using that wooden peg to secure that dial on a little better. I ended up using this hand pump a lot more than I thought I would. It's great for blowing away dust. So this here is the movement holder. You got to get the movement into this movement holder, which wasn't too bad, but this is me trying to do that before putting the stem back into the movement, the stem that's actually going to go with your watch. You really have to do that first. You're going to need it anyways to wind the watch, to set the watch, and it really helps you handle that movement. So it does appear that the stem is correctly placed in the movement. This is me just checking out the back of everything, looking to make sure that the right wheels are spinning as I turn the stem. Now it's going to go into that movement holder a lot easier. Having that stem in there really gives you better leverage on putting that in the holder. Now, setting the hour hand onto the watch wasn't too bad. You do get the correct tools. Believe it or not, there is a front side and a back side to each of these hands. Now I'm using that tool to make sure the hour hand is on there nice and snug. You don't want to use too much pressure, because what you're going to end up doing is bending these hands. And looks like it is on correctly. Let's check it out. It looks good. Turns good. Everything seems fine. However, I did have to use the hand removing tools and remove this hand, because with this movement, you want to set that date exactly to when it flips, and then you got to put that hour hand directly over that 12 o'clock, like right away. So a minor step back, but definitely a little step backwards here. Got to make sure that flips, and then boom, move that hour hand directly over the 12 o'clock position, as I mentioned before. Make sure it's on there nice and snug. So the 12 o'clock hand appears to be on there good. Now it's time to grab that minute hand. And like I said, these hands do have a front and back, so you got to make sure to grab it by the correct position and make sure that the front of the hand is going to be what's facing you once it is on this dial. Just double checking those things, making sure everything looks good. Now it's time to use that tool and make sure that it's on there a little more snugly than it just was. Now here I had to use some paper to bend that minute hand back a little bit because I put too much pressure on it and I ended up bending that hand. Now everything seems to be looking good, as it should. Now here comes the most challenging part of this entire process, which was putting the second hand on. The second hand is so small, and actually the white part of the tool that I'm holding is only for setting that second hand. That's the only thing it's there for. That second hand is so tiny. That second hand has a peg on it that has to go into a very, very, very tiny hole on that dial. And if you do it with too much force, if you do it too aggressively, you could ruin the movement. But I finally ended up getting it going, and here we are saying, let's go to the watch, and there it goes, running, looking good. Now what I'm doing here is using the Rotico that was provided to clean the hands of the watch. They did have a couple smudges on them. Just using that loop, double checking, and using the Rotico to brush those hands off more. Now you're going to have to get the crown and the stem out of the watch once again, which was a little bit of a challenge, but not nearly as much as getting that second hand on was. Now it's going to have to just get dropped right into the case. It's a little tricky dropping it into the case. You got to line it up with the 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock. And that did take a couple of tries, but once again, not nearly as much as that second hand took. And then once it's in position, you just got to push that stem in there just enough and it'll click in and you can feel it. It's pretty easy to feel it right. And then you can go ahead and wind the watch and you know you're pretty much good to go. Now you're going to want to get this gasket, put it into the case as well. Wasn't hard to do at all. Take your case back, start winding it onto the watch. Grab the bezel insert and stick that on there. It did have tape on the back. You just had to peel the protective coating off and the tape's ready to rumble. Make sure to use your loop. And there it is. And man, I really like the dial on that. I really like that the logo is just a D and then the model number's underneath that D. It is very sharp. And the lume on this is very sharp too. You get the blue on the bezel and the green on the dial. Now this is something I really liked. These spring bars have a little lever here and you can use that lever to help put the spring bar right into place. You don't have to use the spring bar tools. I think this is really sharp from Do-It-Yourself Watch Club, and I wish more watches would actually use spring bars like these. It would just make it so much easier to change. And there it is. And here is the wrist shot. And man, that is a nice looking PVD coated dive watch that I can actually say that I built myself. I definitely want to put a black NATO strap on there. I feel like it would go a lot better, but this is still a great watch. And for what you pay for, you get a lot, in my opinion, buying this do-it-yourself watch kit. And there you have it. I really do like this watch, but I did promise you guys something earlier. I promised you guys a coupon code for 10% off your entire order. And the coupon code is its_complicated. There you go. Now you can get 10% off your entire order from the Do-It-Yourself Watch Club. Honestly though, I really do like the way this watch turned out. Like I said, I do want to put it on a NATO strap, but I don't have any other PVD coated watches, so this is a nice piece for my collection. And again, I can tell people that I put it together myself, and it gave me a lot of experience messing with the insides of a mechanical watch. One thing I would definitely like to see Do-It-Yourself Watch Club do is give the opportunity to buy maybe like a starting build your own movement kit. How cool would that be? Use some of those tools that were already provided to you from a former build and maybe some extra tools to help you build your own movement. How awesome would that be? And then you can put your own movement in whatever cases, etc., using whatever crystals, etc., their website would provide. That would be amazing. Again, I did have a lot of fun building this watch. It was a little bit stressful, but I still had a good time doing it. It was like putting together an expensive model. You just really didn't want to ruin that movement. But I think that was kind of part of the thrill of assembling your own mechanical wristwatch. And that wraps it up for this episode of It's Complicated. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. Please hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead and hit the dislike button for all I care. And I'll see you guys next time on another episode of It's Complicated.